you're up.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Adamas and I am your principal here at John F. Kennedy High School. Joining me for this orientation will be the John F. Kennedy High School administrative team. We want to thank you for the time that you've set aside for this informational orientation. What that means is you will be able to type any questions in the comment section, and then at the end of our presentation, we will do our best to address each question. We are now going to transition into our PowerPoint presentation. So this orientation is actually for all students, parents, and guardians. John F. Kennedy High School is the home of the Islanders, Biba Islanders. Our administrative team this year, I'm your principal, as I said earlier. We have 4 assistant principals. Ms. Catherine Denega, she oversees attendance, distant learning, and student activities. We have Mrs. Patricia Anub. She oversees special programs. We have Mr. Jonathan Palarca. He oversees curriculum, instruction, and assessment, and the Freshman Academy. We have Mr. J. Antonio, assistant principal overseeing student support services and interscholastic sports. And we have Tessie Cruz, our administrative officer who oversees finance, operations, and administrative services. The vision of the Guam Department of Education is that every student is responsible, respectful, ready for life. And in alignment and support of this vision, John F. Kennedy High School's mission statement is to develop our island students to become globally primed high achievers. And the way that we gauge our students being able to meet our mission statement is that we have our school-wide learner outcomes, that our students are responsible citizens, they are problem solvers, they are effective communicators, and they are technologically literate. Our presentation today is based on 2 documents and several board policies and Guam law. And the 2 documents that we are referring to, one is the John F. Kennedy High School Student Handbook, and the second one is our COVID-19 pandemic school re-entry plan. You may find both of these documents on our website, and we ask that you please take the time to review this information, as it will help us along the way as we deal with the pandemic and still meet our objectives of educating our students. The Guam Department of Education's Code of Conduct is that students are hereby informed that the staff, faculty, and administration function as parents or in loco parentis, while the students are on campus or attending school-sponsored activities. This legal concept assigns the school authority and the duty to require students to conform to a specific code of conduct and to apply consequences when students are found to be in non-compliance with the code of conduct. School policies are implemented in order to provide a safe and respectful learning environment. So we ask that as you review the student handbook, that you become familiar with these policies and procedures and in-house rules. Our positive behavior expectation, if you're coming from the middle schools, you are familiar with the positive behavior intervention supports, the PBIS framework, which is to be safe, be respectful, and be responsible. So we implement this as well and expect our students to follow these three items, whether they're in the classroom, riding the bus, in the hallways, in the cafeteria, what have you. And so we're going to segue to this video regarding school safety procedures.
I'm going to turn on.
We hope you enjoyed that video. It was actually put together by our National Honor Society students under the direction of Mr. Palarca, one of our assistant principals, and Mr. Dylan Orrit, one of the advisors for the NHS. Communication is important. So the parent and the student portals of PowerSchool give parents the ability to view their child's grades, attendance, and other school information securely via the internet. Access is restricted to students and parents or guardians who have been issued a username and a password. And what you see below is the URL that you would type online to get access to the portal. In addition, education is the key to your success in earning a good living. Make it your priority to do your best. And so we have different avenues of communicating with our parents and students. We have our JFK website. This is our school number, 642-2100. We have our jfkhs@gdoe.net email. We also share information on our marquee, which is right outside the main entrance. It's that sign that lights up, and we post important information. We have our weekly bulletins that we place on our website. We send to our teachers so that they are able to share that information with the students. Every month, the first week of the month, I send parent and student notices to you via our students. So parents, just get into the habit of asking, if it's the first week of the month, did you get a notice from your principal? They should be able to tell you yes. And then we are needing to step up our game in reaching out on a wider span to keep our parents and our students up to date. So we have our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter pages. And our name is jfkislanders.com. And then you'll be able to watch this orientation and other videos that we post on YouTube at JFK Islanders. Here at JFK, we have a team that's committed to serving our students. And one particular group is called the Support Services and Outreach Team. Erlinda Toves is our social worker. Her extension is 4364. So if you call our school at 642-2100, you would just hit 4364 to get into her extension. What exactly does a school social worker do? She assists with parent and guardian communication and interaction. So when teachers are trying to contact parents and we don't have working phone numbers, our social worker helps us by actually making these home visits to get the information to you. Our social workers act on referrals for school-related issues, and our social worker also coordinates social services for our students and our families. We have special programs and services for our students as well. We regularly conduct child study team meetings, which is part of this process where we provide proper interventions and referrals and supports for our students. We have our special education program where we're guided by the IEPs. We have the Section 504 process and students where we make accommodations, and then English as a second language or ESL. And we have specific personnel to each area to ensure that we are doing the best that we can for your child. Here are the campus hours. We are keeping the same hours as last year. We start at 6:45, we end at 1:45, but the first bus will usually make its drop off here at 5:50 in the morning, okay? Main office, counseling office, the nurse's office, and the student support services office is open from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Our library hours are 6:30 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. We have a different bell schedule. And so the lunch periods are now different, and I'll explain that to you. But if you are dropping lunch for your child, you must do so between 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. You are only allowed to feed your child, okay? And your child must, you must inform your child in advance that they need to go to the office during this time to get their food. If you are a car rider at the end of the day, parents, you need to make sure that you pick up your child before 2 o'clock, okay? And then our gates close at 2:15. So here is our bell schedule. John. Here's our bell schedule. Hold on, we're having some technical difficulties here. I can't find it. I can't see it.
It's okay, it's this one.
Just touch it. Okay. Okay, so in this bell schedule, you see that we have green and gold A day we have green and gold B day, we have green and gold C day. We have 1,800 students here at JFK. And in line with the Department of Public Health and Social Services, we need to ensure that our student population is split into 3 groups to reduce our student population and increase the safetiness in terms of physical distancing. So you see, Group A is ABAC to Guzman, Group B is Ha to Puan, Group C is Kenga to Zheng. And if you look here on the far left, we start at 6:40. First block is 6:45 to 8:35. We are the only high school that's following a block schedule. That means our students have 6 periods, but on each day, they only meet with 3 classes, just like what we have done in the past. We didn't want to have too many changes in our bell schedule because with the pandemic, there are already so many changes. So we're trying to make it a little bit easier for our students. And we feel that by having 3 classes a day, instead of 6, students are able to focus on those 3 periods. And the movement from one class to another is minimal compared to if we were to follow a traditional bell schedule, which is 6 periods a day, 55 minutes long. So we're going to try this. We're committed to making this work. We want to maximize our instruction, and we want to ensure that we're able to meet our objectives and that students are given every possible opportunity to do well in school. Okay, so we have our first block. On a green day, first block would be, on a green day, it's periods 1, 3, 5. On a gold day, it's 2, 4, 6. Here's second block. It's the third block where we're going to have a change. And that's because we're going to have 3 lunch periods. So this schedule here pretty much just indicates that wherever your last period of the day, wherever that class is, down here in the bottom, we indicate when you will have your lunch. So group 1, if we had 600 students show up on this day, on this given day, the first lunch period is going to go to those students who have their last block in C, F, or G wings. So right after second block, you're going to go right into lunch. Then when the bell rings at 11:45, you are going to your last block. That's for this first group. The second group, you will go to your third block at 10:50. Okay, the second group is those who have their last block in the D wing. So your class will be interrupted with a lunch break. And then the last group that we're looking at, which is the third lunch period, are those students in A and B wing. You will go to your third block for 110 minutes, and then your lunch will be at 12:45. Bring snacks, students, bring snacks. And when we have our meal services, you might want to be able to, like for breakfast, just save some of it for snacking later, just because of the time span, okay? And then to increase our safety efforts, we are staggering the release time depending on your lunch period. So if you're group 1, you will be released at 1:40. What that means is you are in C, F, and G wing, and your teachers will release you at 1:40. You will walk to the bus or to the walker's gate, or your whoever's picking you up, they will be waiting for you, and you will be you will exit by 1:40. The second lunch period, you will be released at 1:45. And the third group, because your lunch is at 12:45 to 1:40, then we are already going to release you by 1:35 to ensure that we don't have 600 students all heading to the bus at the same time. We have this schedule posted on our social media outlets and on our Facebook page. Please study it. If your last name falls under group A or group B or group C, just familiarize yourself with the group that you belong to. Okay, that's gonna help. Here's a bigger depiction of the attendance groups, okay? So this is what I just said earlier, but I want to clarify that those students coming on an A day, you have periods 135, which is a green day, and periods 246, which is a gold day. If you are a B student, this is your last name, it falls into this category, you will have periods 9, 11, 13 for a green day, and on a gold day, it's 8, 10, and 12. You will see this on your schedule, so we don't expect you to memorize it, but it helps to understand how our teacher's going to keep track of who their students are, because this could be a teacher's first period class right here, and there's gonna be students split into A group, B group, and C group. And on the teacher's rosters, they're gonna see you based on these periods. This will also help you when you look at the parent or the student portal and you see the period number. Here's group C, and that's Kenya to Jiang. Green day, it's periods 15, 17, and 19, and on a gold day, it's 16, 18, and 20. We're trying our best to make this run smoothly, so there's gotta be a lot of grace. There's gotta be some grace. Students will make mistakes. We'll get confused, but we're gonna just reinforce it and lead you in the right direction, literally. Here's our calendar. So we call this our green and gold calendar. And what it's going to do is it's going to coincide with the A days, the B days, the C days, the green days, and the gold days. So on August 17, the first day of school is a green odd day. The second day of school on August 18 is a green odd day. It's a B day. And then the 19th is a green day, and it's for the C group. So whenever you see the blocks of 3, just think A, B, C. And on August 20, that's going to be a gold day for periods 2, 4, 6, okay, etc. Fridays, there's no school on Fridays because this is the time that the teachers will use for their interventions. Teachers will be calling you, teachers will be emailing you or responding to your email messages, or they might have an online class session just to explain assignments or to provide additional supports for you. And then the hard copy students, those of you who chose on the model of learning, if you're a hard copy student, you will have to provide transportation for yourself to pick up your packets on Fridays between 7 and 10 a.m. So on August 21st, hard copy learners, you need to make the effort to get to school. You are picking up your packet and then you are leaving. Okay, you're gonna have instructions from all 6 period teachers that you have. And the following Friday, you're gonna return the packet with the completed assignments. Your teachers will be contacting you throughout the week. Or if you have questions and you email your teacher or you call and you leave a message, the teachers are supposed to return the call or answer your email. It takes some getting used to, but that's why we have been posting this information for over a week already. Okay, so this schedule goes hand in hand with the other 2 that I showed earlier. I can't change it. Stand by. Okay. I'm on.
Go ahead. I'm ready. Hi, so I'm the for finance for various JF, so which means no cost. 50, we got this part 10 to 11 for the second 11 for to the and of course we have side and there are two lines. These big line then get from there back to and I apologize.
There you go.
We're
Just
having
fine.
some
you go.
difficulties here. So again, JFK is our CDP school. We serve breakfast and lunch at no charge. We have the breakfast time starting at 5:50 again, from 5:50 to 6:40. 3 groups for lunchtime. First group's gonna start at 10:50 to 11:45. The second group from 11:50 to 12:45. Third group from 12:45 to 1:40. Next one. How do we?
Yep, just. It's not right. Just yeah, hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. With this is the cafeteria layout. As they enter our cafeteria, and there's 82 student capacity. As they enter, they're going to be forming 2 lines, the left and the right. And then this will take them to the kitchen area, the serving line, and all foods will be packed for both breakfast and lunch. The next one, cafeteria prevention measures. These are for our students. Wash your hands before and after eating. Do not congregate in the dining area. Maintain safe distance while waiting in line. Sit on areas that are marked. All our cafeteria tables will be marked. Do not share food with others. No talking while eating. Bring your own water bottle. Face masks may only be removed when eating. Next one we have is FOAS. Our schedule hours are 7 to 2. Parents and students are they would make payments in the main office. The fee schedule is as follows. Student parking permit, you see the cost, $15 per vehicle. Processing time, 5 days. Replacement is $10, again, 5 days. Half-day pass per semester, it's $10. Replacement is $5, and the processing time is 5 days. For student verification, $2 per student, and this would take 3 days to process. Official transcript, $10 for 5 days. Unofficial transcript, $5 for 3 days, and so forth. We have the postal fees for off-island transcript requests, subject to change at any time. $2 for 5 days, and then immunization records, $1 per page for 3 days. We ask that you bring exact change when making payment. And that concludes my area for FOAS and the cafeteria. Thank you.
You have to go here. Come here. Because the internet. Oh no, you can go here. Jay, you can go here. Screen share. Right. On meeting. Okay, half a day. My name is Mr. Antonio. I'm one of the assistant principal overseeing student support services and interscholastic sports. So bear with us. We're kind of working. We're trying to figure out how to do this. But so I'm just going to talk about several things in regards to my area. Okay, the first one is the uniform policy and dress code. I'm not sure if you've heard already, but the uniform policy has been waived for this school year, right? So you don't need to wear your specific John F. Kennedy High School uniform, but if we recommend that you wear it, if you still want to purchase uniform, we have the number and our vendor that's there. But no matter if you're not wearing the uniform, there's still the dress code policy that I'm going to go over with in the next slide. Okay, so, and then at the bottom there, it says must be followed regardless of mode of learning. So just make sure that you understand that if you are doing online and you are having a Zoom meeting or what have you with your teachers, you need to make sure that you're still following the uniform policy. How do you change this? Put the mouse on the screen. Where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? Here.
Okay. Our intent for our uniform policy for John F. Kennedy High School is to maintain a positive learning environment that promotes unity and pride, foster safety and security of all, minimize socioeconomic distinction, okay, and creates an environment free of harassment, okay? So that's something that we kept in mind when we were creating the uniform policy. But for those of you guys that attended the school, this basically mimics the uniform policy that we have when we have our dress down, right? So you need to make sure that your pants are worn above the point of hip, and the undergarment should not be visible, okay? Shorts, whether it's male or female, your shorts should be no higher than 3 inches above the knee. Okay, for the shirts and blouse should allow for reasonable movement without inappropriate exposure, and then closed-toe shoes with enclosed backing should be worn at all times. And if you look at our website, again, you're going to see a separate handbook there in regards to the coronavirus that we're experiencing at this point. So please make sure that you have your face mask at all times. School bags and backpacks. Students may use any school bag of their choice as long as it abides by these restrictions. No profanity, inappropriate images, no secret hidden pockets, and no connected articles that express violence or can be used for violence, right? And basically you can look at board policy 401.1. Okay, our school is a no smoking zone. Obviously, if you look at we do have signs all over the school, but no smoking policy in accordance with the board policy 430 and 635. Smoking and or possession of cigarettes or tobacco products to include vape or vaping is prohibited while on school property in all school buses and all school activities. Again, that's Public Law 21-139. And drug-free zone, John F. Kennedy High School is a drug-free zone, Public Law 2387. Continuing discipline, we're looking at harassment, intimidation, and bullying, cyberbullying, sexting, and sexual harassment. That's board policy 409 and 17. The what? 17, Guam Code annotated. Sorry. Okay, we take all these incidents seriously by the teachers, staff, administrators, and you should report them accordingly. So parents, as soon as you talk to your child and you feel as if their child is being harassed, please make sure you call the school and report that immediately. Board Policy 406 ensures that student possession and use of cellular phones do not hinder the daily operation of the school. So we do allow you to bring your phone to school and we do allow you to use your phone, but you need to make sure, one, you do sign the Education Technology and Cell Phone Usage Agreement. And also you need to make sure that they're only permitted when the teachers gives you permission to actually use them in class, okay? And again, the use of the cell phone is a privilege that is granted to students. And another thing that I want everybody to keep in mind is students are responsible for their personal property, right? So you need to make sure that if you decide to bring your cell phone, you are responsible for that and make sure that you have them at all times. Okay, another area that I'm overseeing right now is interscholastic sports. We had a meeting this morning, and for those of you guys that have been looking at the schedule, the proposed schedule that we made several weeks ago, as of today, there was another change for the proposed schedule. So if you look at the slide, rather than seeing first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter, or third and fourth quarter, you're now seeing first block, second block, and third block. So we're basically looking at having 3 seasons, but it doesn't have anything to do with our quarters, right? And it's basically because of at this point, we haven't had the go signal to start. So we know that we're not going to start anytime soon, and therefore we know that we're already back with the schedule. So with the first block, we're looking at starting on September 8th. Okay, and that goes all the way till December, right? So that's boys cross country, boys and girls tennis, girls volleyball, softball, and boys soccer. Second block looks like we're going to be starting January 15th all the way to March 13th. That will be baseball, boys and girls basketball, boys and girls track and field, boys and girls wrestling, and boys and girls rugby. Third block is set to start on March 19th till the end of the school year. And we're looking at football, girls soccer, boys and girls paddling, and boys volleyball, right? So again, as you can see, there's a lot of changes that we had to make. And basically, these are all based on the risk factors for the sports. Now, as of today, this is still not approved. And this is something that proposed that we've given. The athletic directors and also the administrators have already met and came up with return to practice protocols. And as soon as that's turned in to the superintendent and to the governor, then we're just going to be waiting for the approval. okay? But in the meantime, if you are planning to join sports, our athletic packet is available to be picked up at school, or you can go to our website and just print that out and just make sure that you have all the documents that's needed for you to actually start practicing. Just go to our athletic website or school website to just get updates and whether we're going to be starting any sports soon. And the last part that I'm going to be covering will be the traffic flow. So if you attended John F. Kennedy High School last school year, if you look at the traffic flow on the slide, you see that there's changes there. So at this point, as you enter the school, you're going to be taking a right, okay? And the drop-off area at this point, okay, will be the walkway right in front of the ROTC building, okay? And that's also the same thing for pickup, okay? So no students will be dropped off or picked up at the cafeteria side. Everybody will be going in the front of the school, be dropping off at the student walkway right in front of the ROTC building. And then the exit will be where the tennis court area is at, right? So whether you get dropped off at the RTC area or in front of the school, the entrance there will have, you will have to follow the protocol of getting temperature and so forth. Now we have Mr. Palarca.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Mr. Jonathan Palarca. I'm in charge of curriculum and instruction and including the Freshman Academy. I'm going to talk about more the instructional part of this PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so library operation is from 6:30 to 2 o'clock. Of course, if you have time to visit during break time, you can go do so, but you only have 10 minutes. But lunchtime, seatings on a first come, first served basis, limited to 25 students, and must follow COVID-19 prevention protocol that was shown in the video. Okay, so the librarian is Krishnan Saranjan, and the library clerk is Samantha Ariola. Okay, so that's the library. Guidance and counseling services. Operation is from 6 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. Again, there will be signs posted in front of the door. Please follow those guidelines. To see your counselors, students, sign in the computer in the office. 2, sign in online link request form at the JFK website or email your counselors for those students for online. And for the people who are hard copies and picking up materials, to request to see the counselors, fill out a hard copy form and submit it, or you can basically call the school. Okay, so, and then the next one is wait to be called by your counselor. If urgent, please see your teacher for guidance. Okay, so that's the guidance counseling side. The counselors, we have a new counselor this school year, Mrs. Beverly Asita. She's in charge of that alpha and that PowerPoint. She's previously an English teacher. Now she's our new counselor. And then the other counselors, Dr. Billy Joe Marzan, Mrs. Gina Santos, Michelle Santos, Mr. Joseph Lujan, Mrs. Norma Chagaloff, Miss Marlene Onesi are your other counselors. It goes by last names. So please make sure you are choosing the correct counselor when you're filling out some forms. The other counselor is from the Guam Community College programs, which is Mrs. Rosemary Nape. She takes care of all the GCC programs. We do have two personnel who works at the counseling office, which is a computer operator, Marina Napati. If you have issues with Parent Portal, Student Portal, and Power School, that is the point of contact you need to contact. And then the counseling clerk registrar is Tanya Sablan. And then their information is on our JFK websites. Okay. Graduation requirements for all the cohorts, 2021, 2022, 2023, and including these freshmen. The total credits is 24, but we've changed, where am I going back? They've changed the requirement for the exiting graduation of cohort 2021. So for mathematics, you must graduate with a geometry and an algebra 1, but you must have 4 math credits. Social studies, 3 credits. You need to have a world social studies class and a US social studies class. For science, you need to have a living bio class, a physical science class, and another science class for 3 credits. And then all the other ones remains the same, which is language arts, which is 4 credits, PE, 1 credit, tomorrow, 1 credit, health, 1 credit, finance, 1 credit. And the 6 electives. Students, you need to make sure you are choosing the right electives for your path of 4 years. Okay, so the career prep clusters are these, the ones on displayed. You can get some certificates when you are completing these programs, especially the GCC programs. There are 2 certificates, which is certificate of completion. And complete certificate of mastery. Going back to the counselors, there is a mistake with the Mrs. Marlene Onesi. It's the summit to Z. Okay, the last letter is Z. I made a mistake there. I do apologize. I was thinking JFK, but never mind. Okay, Z. That's the last letter of the alphabet. Going back to the career prep clusters, again, GCC offers those 2 certificates. Business, oh my God. Business offers a certification of completion. It falls into DCAPS. It falls into GCC. That's a new certificate program that you can receive after high school. And then we also have the ROTC certificate for 3 years. If you complete ROTC for 3 years, you get a certificate of, Dr. Damas. A certificate of achievement. And then for the 4 years, certificate of completion. And then you also get, if you join the military after high school, you did get promoted to a rank, a higher rank. Okay, so there's our programs. Please make sure you choose wisely for electives. Service learning. Previously, we are required to get 75 hours. But due to Guam Educational Board decision to waive for students completing the allotted hours this school year, teachers are not expected to assign service learning projects pending legislative approval. So it is still waiting for approval from the legislature. So last school year, they waived the last quarter of service learning. So we are waiting for their approval to see if there's going to be service learning project hours for this school year. Okay, so just wait for that. Okay, students, here's what you need to know about your schedules. Schedules will be given out the first 3 days according to your attendance group. This is for your face-to-face. August 17, Group A to Guzman. August 18, Group B, Ha to Puan. August 19 to Group C, Kenya to Z. Remember, this is the people going to school face-to-face. Schedules are posted on parent portal or student portal for your online students and for the face-to-face. So it might be activated next week. We don't know how soon it will, but just be patient and hopefully you can get it online and see that online, your schedules. For students who are hard copy, schedules can be picked up starting August 17 or call the school. Okay, that's your schedule. Your schedule, face-to-face, you will locate your name when you come to school on August 17, 18, 19. Locate your name on the rosters posted in the designated walls on main campus. Report to the room number and your first block teacher will distribute your schedule. That's for the face-to-face, and then for the other two choices, you can get it from online or call the school or pick it up. Okay, for add and drop period. I know some of you students are not going to be happy with your schedule and you are trying to figure out when I can do add and drop. It's going to be only 1 week due to our scheduling, due to our calendar. Okay, so for online students, you can do this online. You're going to have to fill out a change course request form at our JFK website, email the counselor, or check out the counselor web page. Hard copy, fill out a hard copy form when you pick up your packet, or when you get your schedule, you'll have a copy with your schedule. Or if you have access to the internet, you can email your counselor. Face-to-face, students who are going to be on campus, we highly encourage to fill out a change course request at our JFK website, or email the counselor, or fill out a hard copy here at school. Okay, so that's when you are going to change your schedule. Freshman Academy, I am in charge of Freshman Academy. I did not mention that earlier. Only first year freshmen. It's like the middle school concept. You will have teams, 4 subjects, English, math, science, social studies. Please check out the JFK website. There is a section there for Freshman Academy. It does have the handbook. Also, all the lists of teachers who are in Freshman Academy, and also our Freshman Academy Creed. Okay, so Teen Concept helps your child transition to high school. Parents are important part of the Teen Concept. So especially with the 3 models of learning this year, especially for the freshmen, parents, we do need to make sure you are involved in this education part of your child in your freshman year. Okay, and also the other years too. Team building activities, we hopefully will try to make sure it's socially distanced activities, but we'll see how it goes this school year. Facebook handbook is posted on the JFK website. Okay, freshman enrollment requirements, parents, as per public law and board policy 337, all incoming 9th graders and upperclassmen who are new to GEO-DOE are required to have an updated physical exam that must not be older than 1 year at the start of the school year. Are required, okay? So you do need to give an updated physical examination. Updated immunizations to include TB skin test results. That's again for the incoming 9th graders and all the new upperclassmen to GDOE. Submit this document, hard copy to the nurse, or you can email documents to that email address that's posted on this PowerPoint. Non-submission results to immediate exclusion from school and all activities. Okay, so we now have Mrs. Kathy Denega, who's gonna present the remaining part of this orientation.
I'm Ms. Diniega, and I will be handling attendance this school year. Our attendance policies are guided by Board Policy 411, which states that students must go to school on a regular basis. Excessive tardiness or absences will affect students' academic performance. So be here every day. Well, be here on the scheduled days that you're supposed to come to school. Okay, and don't miss those days. It's very important. All right, besides Board Policy 411, we have the compulsory education, which is duty to send children to school. Guam Public Law 34-104 requires students who are 5 years of age and have not reached the age of 18 years to enroll and attend a school full-time. If you are not able to do so, you are considered habitual truant, which means a pupil or student who is of compulsory attendance age and has incurred 12 or more unexcused absences in a quarter, a semester, or a school year. When this happens, then these cases are referred to my office. And then of course, I would have to have the school resource officer involved. The person in charge, assigned to our school is Ms. Sarah Tangakta, Tanguacta. And of course, we do not want to go further than that, but if necessary, we will have to resort to going to family court of the Superior Court of Guam. Now, we will have 3 models of learning, so that requires 3 different types of daily attendance that will be taken. So if you are coming to school face-to-face, attendance is taken every meeting day scheduled for groups A, B, and C. There are no classes on Friday as they are reserved for student intervention with teachers. Students must be on campus before 6:45 a.m. and in class by 6:50 a.m. A tardy is when student arrives to class up to 15 minutes late. Therefore, 16 minutes or later, arrival at the class is considered a technical absence. Please, students, do not be late. Okay, your attendance in class is very crucial, especially with this type of schedule that we have. Passing time is 5 minutes between class periods. Reporting to class after the tardy bell follows suit. You're marked tardy or technical absence. If you're an online student, student attendance is required for all scheduled class meetings. Follow virtual meeting protocols established by your teachers. You must show up. Hard copy pickup, hard copy students, if you're picking up your hard copy lessons, they're picked up every Friday from 6:30 to 9:30 a.m. Students, if you do not pick up your hard copies during these regularly scheduled days, you will be considered absent. Now, there are reasons, valid reasons to be absent. For example, you're ill, you have a medical, optical, or dental appointment, there's a death in the family, the bus didn't pick you up, you have prearranged request of island purpose for medical, you have court appointment, natural disaster, participation in school-related activities, holidays, or so on. But if you do not have a valid reasons that are listed here, you're considered unexcused. So if you do have a valid reason for being absent, if you're a traditional learner, students are to present their respective teachers, all 6 of them, with an excuse note written by their parents or themselves if they are 18 years of age or older. Now, grace period for students to submit an excuse note is the next scheduled on-campus meeting with his or her teachers. Each teacher will initial excuse note. The last teacher to initial the note will be held by that teacher for documentation. If you're an online and hard copy learners, teachers must be informed when students miss a scheduled class meeting or a scheduled hard copy lesson pickup. If no immediate communication is made to the teacher regarding the absence, it will be considered unexcused. Now, you have the student parent portal and you can see your attendance. So these are the codes that will show what kind of attendance you have in school. A means you're absent, unexcused. A is absent, excused. AD is absent, doctor's note. AP, absent, prearranged, and so on. Now, if you've been absent for more than 3 days, you will need to see me. So for prearranged absences and for excuse note, past the 5-day grace period for submission to teachers, you must see me. And of course, if there's a doctor's note involved, you must go to Nurse Barnaby in the nurse's office, or Mr. Antonio, or Miss Flores or Clerk Judy for an excuse if you've been suspended. Okay. Next, campus information. So JFK maintains a closed campus policy. So in the interest of the campus security, all visitors are required to check in at the guardhouse as they arrive on campus, then proceed to the main office in accordance with the public law and board policy to sign in and state destination. Any student who remains on campus after school hours must be participating in an authorized activity or program and under the direction of a staff or faculty member. But at this time, because of the situation right now, we don't have clearance to have activities or athletic practices. We will not have any students on campus after school hours. So please, until that time period, you must leave the campus when school closes. Campus pride. Students, you are encouraged to take pride in the JFK High School campus by making sure you pick up after yourselves and throw your trash in the trash can. For school deliveries, students are not allowed to arrange or receive deliveries on campus. Deliveries will be refused at the main office and students will not be called out of class to receive them. Students are not allowed to order food and have it delivered to the campus. For lunch deliveries, only parents or immediate family are to drop off any food, drink in the main office between 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Okay, next, Federal Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, known as FERPA. FERPA is a federal law that protects the privacy of student education records. This law applies to all schools that receive funds under an applicable program of the U.S. Department of Education. FERPA deals specifically with the education records of students, affording them certain rights with respect to those records. Note, students who are 18 and above have the right to request that the school not release any information to their parents, guardians, or other persons or agencies. Clubs and organizations. Research shows that students who are involved in extracurricular activities tend to perform better academically than students who are not involved in other activities. So run for office, join a club, attend a game, or join a team. We will be having upcoming elections for Island-wide Board of Governing Students, or IBOGs, Way Student Government, and of course our class council officers for the following classes: 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. All right, parent guardian requirements. Any changes in student demographic information must be updated as needed with Clark Tanya in the counseling office. Also, you must submit these forms. 1, the Emergency Health Information Form, the SIFT K-12 Parent Alert Form, the Counseling Informed Consent Form, School Counselors Confidential Guideline Acknowledgement, and the Educational Technology Wi-Fi and Cell Phone Use and Agreement Form. All of these forms are posted on the school website. All forms are accessible on our website. Deadline to submit is August 28. Finally, student responsibilities. Because we have a very unusual situation and we have 3 models of learning, this is really important, students. Read, understand, and comply with the school policies and procedures in your student handbook. Be familiar with course syllabus provided by your teachers. Each course has scheduled activities and assignments that must be followed. Manage your time wisely. Keep your teacher's contact information accessible in case you have concerns, questions, or need assistance. Be familiar with the John F. Kennedy High School school calendar and bell schedule. Courtesy and respect must be maintained whether online, receiving hard copy packets, or attending classes on campus. Be timely in communicating with your teachers, especially when they have messaged you via phone calls, email, or left notes with you regarding your grades, assignments, behavior, or attendance. If you need clarification on an assignment, ask your teachers as soon as possible. So let's have a great school year, Islanders.
Hi, so at this time, we are going to look at the questions that have been placed in the comment section, and we'll do our best to address them. Are you able to watch this orientation later? Yes, we are keeping it on our Facebook page, and we are also going to transfer it to our YouTube page as well, so that it could be viewed numerous times by you at your leisure. Am I going by this? Okay, someone's asking if we are going to have the option to do online courses like at Tizen. We have the 3 models of learning, and one of them is online instruction, home learning online. So I know that we have different programs, even though we're GDOE, some high schools have different programs that others may not. And so, no, the answer to this question is no. Okay, so I answered the other question about will this remain on the website? Yes. Does this forum also tackle online sessions? I'm not sure what that question means. Any clarification? Does it tackle online? We did our best to try to distinguish like the uniform policy, whether you're an online learner, the dress code, if you're an online learner, if you're a face-to-face learner, or if you are a hard copy learner. So just ensure that you follow the attire. If you're online and you're having class, you need to ensure that you're following the dress code. If you are here physically, you have to follow the dress code. Grab and go, or the hard copy learners, you are coming here on Fridays between 7 to 10 o'clock. You are driving to a certain area on the campus to pick up your packet and to also drop off your assignments. So even though you're sitting in your car as a passenger or the driver, you still need to be dressed appropriately. And that goes into the next question. How will attendance work? If you're an online learner, the teacher marks your attendance if you are present during the Google Meet session. Okay, if the teacher says, for example, that you have to be logged in first period by 7:15, teachers take attendance that way. If you're face-to-face, then of course we take attendance following the procedures. If you are a grab and go or hard copy learner, it's when you show up every Friday. And it's a hard way to gauge attendance, but really you're only coming to school every Friday as a hard copy learner. Masks, okay, we wear these fashionable cloth masks, and then there are also the paper masks. The big difference is that we don't require, or we don't allow that mask that has that plastic seal or a valve to make breathing easier, because it also collects condensation and drips. So we are not allowing those. Someone asked about, what about those styles where you tie around your head up on the top and then you tie on the bottom? As long as you are covering your face and there's no drug paraphernalia posted on the outside, or vulgarity or anything obscene, we will allow it, as long as you are covering your nose and your mouth. Okay, we need to be careful about the bandanas, the bandana fabric, because if you're wearing a red mask, it's also an indication of gang affiliation, and it's in your handbook that you should not be wearing anything that promotes gangs. Okay, if you have not registered, remember, registration never ends. If you are off island and you're planning to come to Guam and you're quarantined, don't worry, just go to our website. You can email Tanya Sablan, she is our counseling clerk and registrar, and just let her know your situation. Also let Mr. Palarka know because he's in charge of curriculum. Are all teachers assigned to do the 3 models of learning? It depends. If you are an elective teacher or you're teaching a subject where you do not have a teacher counterpart, then you will end up teaching all 3 models of learning. Okay, someone mentioned that if it's Google Classroom that will be used, yes, it is. It's Google Classroom that will be used. Will it be recorded? We have had that discussion with our teachers that we need to be mindful not to record students in the background if there are some, like we have some teachers who will have face-to-face students in the classroom, and then the teacher will be online with the students at home and doing the lecture to both groups at the same time. Teachers, some of them do want to record the session just so that they can post it on their Google Drive and allow students to view it later. Or if you were absent from the online class, then you can have that opportunity to go into the drive and pull up the lesson. Okay. There's also discussion about, can teachers record the Google Classroom discussion? The teachers can do that for their information only. Like if that's their way of taking attendance, or if they just want to see the interaction and take a screenshot, it stays in the teacher's notes and it should not be circulated. Okay, so I hope I addressed that question. Okay, and I'm just going, I've said some of the items already. If you are a face-to-face or traditional learner, then you get the meals in the cafeteria. Sorry, there's no guidance yet on students who are online learners or grab-and-go learners to get meals. Okay, so if you are an online learner, to me, that means if you choose online, you have the computer or laptop equipment, you have internet, you have someone to watch your children, and you have food. Okay, we are addressing those students who are physically on campus. And if there are any changes, we will get that direction from Mr. Fernandez, our superintendent. If there's a storm in the area and they call off school, normally what we do is we just stick to our green and gold calendar and we'll make up the lost days on the designated makeup days in the school calendar. Okay. We want students to choose their model of learning now. Now, like do it already. The deadline was July 10th. I am still accepting model of learning registration forms. And I understand, you know, parents are listening to the news. We're watching the numbers of COVID go up, or on Guam, it's like there are no new cases. And then like yesterday we had 9 new cases, for example. So people are panicking and they're redoing the model of learning registration form because of the increase or the decrease or the no rise in the pandemic numbers. But there comes a time where you're going to have to already make that decision. So once school starts on the 17th, that's it. We are going forward with what you have. And then the time for you to change your model of learning will be at the end of the first quarter, which is October 15, or you can change it at the end of the semester, which is January 6. Why is it a big deal? Because teachers are planning. Teachers are planning accordingly. I have teacher orientation, professional development this Friday, and teachers want to know, how many students do I have that will be online? How many will I have that will be face-to-face? How many do I have that are hard copy? It's hard to give a number if we don't have a consistent number. Those of you who are changing your responses, just know that we are going with the most current response. I'm in charge of that. So I'm going through my master list and I'm changing your models of learning. You can't have all 3. You can't have 2 of them. You have to choose one. go with what makes you feel safest. Okay, that's the best guidance I can give you at this point. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions that came up? Sorry, I'm talking to my admin team because they're checking.
Hard copy packet and online. If you're a online learner and requesting hard copies.
If you're an online learner, then you will make this arrangement with your teacher. Okay? You make that arrangement with your teacher. Yes, we keep our website updated. We also post things on Facebook because we need to consider the most popular social media format, which turns out to be Facebook. Like right now, how many people do we have watching this orientation? How many? 200, 237. Okay, so I'm sorry we couldn't have a face-to-face orientation because if we did that, we would only have 50 people in the gym. And if you do the math, we have 1,790 students. You divide that by 50, there's just not enough time in the day to have a face-to-face with everybody. Okay, so we're doing this route first. Please call the school if you have any additional questions, but just know that we are making ourselves available. This Friday at 1 o'clock, we will have a Zoom meeting that will accommodate up to 300 people, and the overflow will then have to watch on Facebook. So that's this Friday at 1 o'clock. If you go to our website, you'll see our calendar, and it shows the 3 upcoming question and answer meetings that we have scheduled. August 7th, this Friday, next week, Wednesday, August 12th, and then next week, Friday, the day before school starts. I know there's a weekend in the middle, but Friday, typically the last work day before school starts, and it's at 1 o'clock. Okay, and you can also email jfkhs@gdoe.net. We are quick to respond to your questions, and we're doing our best to ensure that everybody has a sense of an awareness and confidence in how well we will be able to operate our school facility and still keep our safety measures in place in light of the pandemic, okay? Any additional questions, team?
We're answering as it goes.
Okay.
Just tell them that we're gonna review those questions.
Yes.
and copy.
Okay, so Mr. Antonio is answering some of your questions as you place them in our Facebook comments. And then those that we didn't answer, we'll make sure that we address them on Friday at 1 o'clock. So at this time, it is 2:22. We are gonna go ahead and end our orientation. We thank you very much for your time and your attention. And of course, we appreciate your feedback. And I love the part about the rules, you know, like your rules cannot be enforced. Well, there's a speed limit of 35 miles per hour. How many of you keep that speed limit? You know what I'm saying? We do our best. The rules are in place for safety. Okay, tardies, look at our handbook regarding what constitutes a tardy. And of course, there are reasons why tardies might be excused or unexcused, or technical absence, what makes them excusable or unexcusable. Okay, so if there's no additional comments, no?
Check our website.
Check our website. Okay, and we're just gonna walk by the screen and just wish you all a great day, wish you the best. Enjoy the second to the last week of your summer break, students. Goodbye. Thank you. Take care.